Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are doing amazing. So today we have my batchmate Archan from IIT KGP with us, who had bagged a placement offer from Oracle. So hello Archan, how are you doing?
Yeah, hi Mitadru. Thanks for inviting me. I've been doing great. How about you?
Yeah, I am doing quite well too. So first of all, congratulations, man.
Yeah, thanks. Same to you for bagging an offer at Samsung for the role of advanced developer.
Yeah, thank you so much. So you did your intern at JLR, right? As far as I
Yeah,
remember.
Jal.
So,
Yeah.
did you get any time to do coding during your intern work, or you mostly practiced it within semesters?
Yeah, during intern, I practiced a bit of coding during the weekends and tried to give a bit of contest during the weekdays. Mostly practice I did in weekends. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. So, for like coding rounds, can you tell which are all the platforms that you followed?
For coding rounds, like in the coding rounds that took place in the platform or from where I practiced for the questions.
Yeah, what all platforms did you just follow, like for preparing for the coding rounds of
Yeah, yeah.
placement or?
For coding rounds, like for any general SD, I did Code Forces, Code Chef, and Lead Code.
Okay. Okay, and how many problems do you think is sufficient for someone to solve? For someone who is targeting for top software companies, so how many problems per day should he solve, or what will be the like? If you are saying like the quality of problems matters more than quantity, so I'm talking about like good quality problems. How many they should target to solve?
Yeah, 100%. The quality matters more than the quantity. Like it's of no use chasing numbers. So if you solely practice Lead Code, I would say uh, solve like 3 to 4 mediums every day and 3 to 4 hards. That would be, I think, ideal. It's
Okay.
like it's no use solving like extremely easy lead code questions like 100 200 easy lead code questions. I don't think that would be much useful.
Yes.
And as far as like any competitive coding platform, code forces or code stuff like that, I would say solve a particular rating range unless you are pretty comfortable like solving 80 to 90% of that particular range. For example, you are solving 1400s. At the point when you feel like you are able to solve like 80 to 90% 1400 problems on your own, like okay, move on to 1500 or 1600 like that.
Okay. And for can you go ahead by explaining like for this Oracle interview, how did you prepare? And like what are the topics and stuff to study? Can you just explain it?
Yeah, sure. So for the Oracle interview, like for any in general SD role, so first learn the basic from any standard college PDS course. Like we have our programming data structure course. Like many courses are available freely on YouTube from Stanford, MIT. Like learn the basics from there.
Yes.
You can also refer to this playlist. Like Striver has a well curated DSA playlist, and if you are more inclined towards competitive programming or trying CP out for the first time, I would suggest Love's CP playlist. It is wonderful for beginners. If you want,
Okay.
you can also like buy the algorithmic course. That is one place solution for everything. And for practice, like give contests regularly on code forces and try giving the weekly contests in lead code and use code forces also for practice, like I said, unless you are comfortable in that rating range.
Yes,
And
yes.
if you like really want to go into CP, I would suggest reading blogs and important topics from CP algorithms. That's a great website to learn.
Okay.
And moving on for yeah, for in many SD interviews they also ask probability oops DBMS puzzles. So for probability course, yeah, for probability I suggest go through the basic probability and statistics course, which most departments have it, I guess. And if your department has offered it, just revise it, the PPTs or slides. And if your department doesn't have it, like you can go to YouTube and search a famous probability playlist from I think Stanford, I guess. It has like properly covered all the topics. mainly focus on the various distributions and expectations. Most questions come from these only. For practice purpose, I would suggest like 50 puzzling problems in probability, the standard book, Brainsteller, and a few famous probability questions like which come directly in OS. From, you can see those videos from 3 Blue 1 Crown or TED. There are well curated videos there. And for the core CS part, in order of importance, I've given like OOPS, DBMS, computer networks. You can follow Love Bubber's playlist in YouTube, or can get slides from any CS friend in IIT KGP. Both will suffice. And many companies also ask puzzles. So for standard puzzles, you can go through GFG, Brainsteller, again TED.
Okay, that's cool. Uh, can you also go through what were the questions which were asked in the interview of Oracle?
Yeah, sure. So like, yeah, first we had the way. The way had I guess 20 to 30 core CS MCQ questions, which
Okay.
consisted of OOPS, DBMS, database, uh, and output input questions like those standard.
Yes, yes.
And it had one DSA question, like I've given the link. It's like standard greedy with maths basic.
Okay.
And excluding Oracle, like of all the tests I've given, these are the topics which are mostly asked: DP, graphs, trees, binary search, sliding window, bit manipulation, etc. And if you have extra time, you can go through segment trees, binary lifting, LCA. I think I only encountered 1 or 2 questions in the whole like placement tests of these topics. And
Yes, yes.
go through the past questions on GOC contests. Those are extremely helpful to get an idea of what questions might come in the quiz. So moving on in the interview, I had total of 3 rounds. So in the round one, they asked a basic intro, and after that, the interviewer asked a probability question, asked about normal distribution, etc. And next, they followed up with a DSA question. It was a DP. The brute approach used DP, and after that, I optimized with binary search. Yeah. So I had to write the code in pen and paper. So I would suggest students to have practice writing code in pen and paper. In my master grade interview also, they had asked me to write code in pen and paper. So students should have habit of writing code in pen and paper. After that, they dived into my self projects, as I used a couple of databases, NoSQL, Postgres, etc. in my projects. So they asked about database systems, difference between SQL, NoSQL, when to use what, advantages, disadvantages, etc., sharding, partitioning. And at the end, they asked a simple horse puzzle. It is quite famous, I think, where you have 25 horses, you have to rank them. You have to find out which is the fastest one using 5 races, something like that. Pretty standard puzzle.
Okay.
In the round two was mostly CV grilling. They dived deep into my projects, asked why did I use this, why not that, etc. And we had a general discussion on Oracle, what it does. For round three, it was a standard HR round, behavioral questions, strength, weaknesses, why Oracle, etc. So
Okay.
that was the process.
So, general discussion on Oracle. So, does it mean like they were asking you about the company, or they were just discussing this stuff?
They were discussing about this stuff, like what Oracle is doing in AI field, etc., how they're managing their databases for
Okay.
training, etc.
Okay.
This happened for about last about 5 to 10 minutes at the end.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, understood. So, do you think CV was also important in your hiring process? And like, what pieces of advice would you give in making a good resume to all the juniors out there?
Yeah, for as you can see, the round two was like totally CV grilling, so CV was
Okay.
pretty important. I would suggest have a good intern, have a few good internships, and have 2 3 good projects. Don't give like 3 4 projects, like too many projects are excessive. Have 2 3 good projects, deploy them properly, and like be thorough with them. Like they might ask anything, like why you done this, why not this. You should be thorough with everything. Like, what if I used that service instead of this, why did I use this? You should be thorough with everything. And yeah, this should be good, I guess.
Okay. So, do you have any extra suggestions for someone who is preparing for software companies and preparing for the interview stuffs?
Yeah, so the number one suggestion is, if you have time, do CP. Like, that's the biggest suggestion I can give.
Yeah.
And recently, the trend of the way, seeing the trend of the ways, I would suggest do the third and if possible the fourth question of the recent lead code contests. Like, they are
Okay.
giving good quality problems there.
Yes, yes.
Have a peer group to discuss various questions. Like, that is extremely helpful to discuss ideas, etc. And I would suggest revise linked list and binary tree before interviews. It costed me an interview, that's why I'm suggesting revise linked list and binary trees. Many
Okay.
people ignore this, so revise this before the interviews and follow Mitadru's channel.
Yeah. Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah,
no problem.
I think you gave enough suggestions for someone who is preparing for top companies for placements and as well
Yeah,
as interviews. So yeah, that was all. I guess thank you so much for coming.
yeah. Thank you again for inviting me.
Yeah.